Um, just to be completely different, I thought I would post some YouTube videos about the section of work that we'll be working on over the next 5 weeks, primarily because the section of work that we'll be doing and the topics that we'll be doing are looking at YouTubers. So it kind of only made sense that I actually had to go at it myself and posted some videos and went through the process of editing and creating the videos just to see what it was like, and just to provide another way of you finding out the information. So I've created a channel, and on that channel I've got all the assignment sheets. So the idea of looking at YouTube came across because my son and now me are slightly obsessed with a group of British YouTubers that we started watching. I've been using YouTube for years for work, although I was actually quite surprised to find out that YouTube's only been around since 2005. So it's only been 10 years that it's been around, but it just seems like it's been there forever. But I've always used it a lot for finding sections of documentaries and short videos that I've wanted to show in class. And apart from that and the few funny cat videos, I've never really spent much time on that. I wasn't really into sitting down and watching it for hours at a time. Probably the only other way that I really used it a lot were for tutorials and learning how to do things. I remember Bailey needing a mod put onto his Minecraft using a Mac, which is a little bit trickier than using a PC. So I end up using a lot of YouTube tutorials to learn how to do that. But then over probably the past 12 months, my son, who is 11 at the moment, and a big Minecraft fan, started watching a lot of Minecraft videos on YouTube of people playing Minecraft. And he would watch people like Sunday and Beijing Canadian, so a group of friends who would get together online and record themselves talking about the game as they played it. And from there, he started watching other gaming videos that were created by people. And the first one I can remember him sort of showing me was a British guy called Thatcher Joe, who made a few gaming videos and a few prank videos. And from there, it sort of led to a whole sort of group of British YouTubers, including Zoella and Dan Is Not On Fire and Sprinkler Glitter and Pointless Blog, who are all sort of connected and have a whole range of different types of videos. And the more I watched them, the more I realised that they had quite a large impact on not only the people who viewed them and their subscribers, so their fans, but there was this wider issues that they're often involved in. So, for example, Dan Howe, who is Dan Is Not On Fire, recently held a forum about the nicer internet, and one of his big issues is about people being nice to each other on the internet and not bullying each other and trolling each other. And it seemed that a lot of these YouTubers had these issues and concerns that they would use their YouTube channels to get across to people. So I thought that was really interesting, and the sheer number of people who are fans and subscribers of these people is quite amazing, and the impact that they have on their fans is quite amazing too. So I thought it'd be really interesting to have a bit of a closer look at some of those YouTubers. And one of the first things that we'll be doing is looking just at the language of YouTube. There are a whole range of words like subscriptions and vlogs and uploads and hauls and channels and posts. And I thought it was really, really interesting to actually have a look at those words and how they're used with YouTube. Then we'll be looking at some of the different categories of YouTube channels, the different types of videos that YouTubers create. And then we'll look at a bit closer at some particular YouTubers, and you'll be doing a little bit of a biography and a vlogography about YouTubers or a YouTuber in general, and have a look at what types of videos that they do, but also what sort of message they're sending to people as well. And then creating sort of an opinion piece about what you think about these messages that these YouTubers are getting across. So we'll get to spend a lot of time watching YouTubers and hopefully exposing you to a few different types of YouTubers, ones that perhaps you haven't come across. As I said, I've been exposed to a lot of British YouTubers who I've actually just recently found belong to all the same management company. So they're all sort of interconnected, and they're all bringing out books at the moment as well. So we'll also be looking at sort of that bigger marketing plan about becoming famous as a YouTuber. But there's a whole heap, obviously, of American YouTubers that I'm not that familiar with. And also a range of Australian ones. I've just started watching a few Australian beauty YouTubers, and that's been quite interesting too, because we seem to have a smaller uptake of YouTubers, obviously, because we're a smaller population. But the growth of Australian YouTubers as well is really quite interesting. So over the next 5-6 weeks, we'll be looking at YouTubers in general and sort of the impact they have on the world. Now, there'll actually be 2 different types of tasks that you can do. The first task that you can do is the standard task that we do in class. So they're the tasks that the videos I'm creating describe. So I think there are 4 or 5 tasks, 1 per week, 1 looking at language, 1 looking at a biography, 1 looking at the categories, and 1 looking at opinions. I think there's 1 more. So there'll be the standard, I guess, written type assignments. They're not all written, but there'll be those sorts of assignments that we talk about in class, and then you'll be asked to respond to one. But just for something different, I thought I'd actually create a second part to that. So you've got the option of either doing the standard class assignment, or you've got the option of creating your own YouTube channel. Now, on this YouTube channel, you can make it about whatever you like, but it has to be suitable to be shown in class, because every Friday we will be watching your YouTube video that you've uploaded for that week. So you'll be expected to upload 1 video a week that is suitable to be shown in school. Now, I'll have an assignment sheet about that will give you a little bit more detail, and we'll talk about in class with those people who choose that option about what is appropriate to be shown. But obviously things like language content need to be considered. But you won't be doing the standard assignments that we're doing. You'll be involved in the discussion, but you'll be using your time to create, edit, and produce your YouTube channel. So the channel can be on anything you like. It can be a beauty channel, it can be a channel about motorbikes, it can be a channel about football, it can be about absolutely anything. It needs to have you talking, but we don't need to see you. So if you are feeling a bit self-conscious about putting yourself on camera, you don't have to, but it has to be your voice behind it, okay? So if you notice one of the third videos that I've got, it's simply a screenshot of me talking through YouTube, so you don't actually see me at all. So that's something to consider, particularly if you're into gaming. That's a really good option for you, that you can actually videotape your games if you've got the facility to do that. And that's sort of the next key. We've got access to the Mac computers at school that you can use, and obviously we've got access to the laptops. But creating and editing and producing a video does take a bit of time and does take resources that are reliable. So you might need to consider whether you've actually got the time and the resources to do that aspect of the task. You'll have class time to work on it, but obviously things like creating the video, you need a certain environment or a certain place to be to create the video, and that may not always be possible. And obviously we've got the iMacs that you can edit on, but you'll be expected to work fairly independently on that. So if you're not familiar with editing on an iMac, then you might need to watch some videos. Oh, my screen's just gone quiet. Watch some videos to learn how to use the iMac for QuickTime. And I've done all my editing on iMovie, so it's quite simple. But if you're not familiar with it, you might need to spend a few lessons actually learning how to do that. But make sure you've got the time and the resources if you're going to start that task. And like I said, every Friday we'll be watching the YouTube's channels that people, YouTube videos that people upload. You don't have to stay in the room while we're doing that. I understand how cringy that can be to watch yourself on the screen or to hear yourself talk, which is why we're not going to watch any of these videos in class. But I do want them to be shared with other people, so we will be watching them on Fridays. And I will be assessing you for this unit of work on your videos. You'll also be expected to do a short reflection at the end of it, explaining some of the issues that you had, some of the challenges that you had, some of the positives that you got out of doing it, and ways that you've changed your style perhaps while creating the video. So there'll be a little bit of a reflection piece due at the end of it. And even though the videos will be shown to the class and will be public, and that's really important to be aware that they are public documents, once we've actually assessed it, so once we've seen them on the Friday, it's not necessary for them to remain public. So you can delete them, turn them into private documents, whatever you like. But please be aware that once you've actually put them up on public, then people have got access to them and can copy them, etc. So just be a little conscious of that and be conscious of what you post up there. And obviously I'll go through a bit of an editing process with those as well. So there you go. You've got a couple of options. Have a think about which one suits you and which one you think you'll be confident doing. And like I said, it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm particularly looking forward to getting to know a lot of different YouTubers that perhaps I'm not familiar with, and yeah, seeing how you think about this new phenomenon that is the YouTuber. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.